Vasishta continued, "One who has reached the state of pure being does not experience sorrow again." And this state of pure being is the state of pure consciousness. It's what underlies all our moods. And I think we can understand sorrow here as our moods. Most of us have moods which underpin our emotional tone, our emotional and mental tone, which we live from. But it's possible to go beyond our moods, to pure experiencing our pure consciousness. And that is the cause of all, but that itself has no cause. Pure being is simply pure being. It's not something which can be measured. It's not something which can even be spoken about. Everything we say about it is a limitation of it. There are no notions that apply to it, no notions of time or space. In that is everything reflected, just as objects are reflected in a mirror. The difference being, of course, is that the objects reflected in awareness are no different from the nature of awareness. That is the pure state. In it the mind attains perfect peace. Reach that state and be free from fear. Rama asked, "How does one attain that state quickly?" Vasishta replied, "Each of the seeds that I have described has to be appropriately dealt with, so that it does not sprout." And the seeds that Vasishta spoke of were in the chapter previous to the one that I began with. The seeds are movement of the life force and mental conditioning. This is essentially the attention and our moods. Our attention is swayed by our moods, and what underpins these is our belief in the external world. We have a firm conviction in the belief that there's an external world. So there are two things we have to do here. We have to deal with our mental conditioning, we have to deal with our moods, and we have to bring the attention back to itself. We have to ensure that our attention is not hijacked all over the place. If you abandon with a mighty effort all the mental conditioning, while remaining in the state of pure being, even for a moment as it were, you will remain established in that state. Sometimes moods are too powerful to go beyond. You're caught up in them, and that's that. You can make a mighty effort. Once you realize that you're in a mood, once you realize that this is simply one of your patterns, then you can deal with it. And you learn to move beyond it. You learn to bring the attention back to itself. Your general mood might not be very good, but this is the practice. This is the work of the enlightenment practitioner. There is no choice but to make this effort. No matter what the situation, no matter the conditions, no matter how strong the mood, are we a slave to the mood? Or can we go beyond it, or at least chip away at it? And be careful not to give in to a mood of failure or of hopelessness. So we're told here that if you can do this mighty effort and reach the state of pure being even for a moment, you will remain established in it. It's a gradual process. Well, it's more than likely going to be a gradual process. And the more you make this effort, the more you'll become established in it. Even by striving to remain in the state of pure being, you will reach this state. You need to be open to it. You need to be open to the notional nature of your everyday reality And once you realize the notional nature, it's very simple and very easy to come back to pure being. Even so, if you remain in the state of consciousness, you will attain the supreme state, but with a little more effort. I've equated pure being with pure consciousness, but here there seems to be a distinction. Consciousness is probably understood here as cognition, it's the state of cognition, and this is the belief that you're actually cognizing something, that you're actually cognizing aspects of an external world. So you may go beyond your moods, but you might still be in a state of cognition. And you need to make the extra effort to go beyond all notions that you've got, that you're actually somebody who's perceiving something, and then you come to the state of supreme being. However, contemplation or meditation should not be based on objects of awareness. It is more difficult to uproot mental conditioning by this means than to uproot a mountain. Most traditional meditation techniques involve focusing on an object. It could be a candle flame, it could be the breath, and here these things are not being recommended, because what you're doing is you're focusing on that thing as if it's something real. Although if you pursue it, you generally find it becomes less real. So I think an opinion's been expressed here which you need to put to the test for yourself. Personally, I would recommend focusing on the breath if you want to still your mind, and focus on the breath. And what happens when you do that is the breath becomes imaginary. Its very vital and physical nature dissolves into imagination, or dissolves into the nature of imagination. However, this kind of thing does not lead to self-realization. It's simply a way of working with the attention and with moods. Until the mind becomes quiescent, the conditioning is not overcome. Unless the conditioning is overcome, there is no meditation. But if the conditioning is abandoned, then all physical and mental disturbances cease. If you can reach that state beyond your moods, beyond your notions, then your mental conditioning is overcome. There isn't any technique for doing that. This is something that has to be realized, and it's only from this perspective that meditation has any efficacy.